Yeah, I have a few topics that
Okay.
I'd like to hear about.
Okay.
First of all, I thought it'd be interesting just to talk a little bit about the family background that you have. You know, where your family came from, how it came to this country, because everybody's got a story about how their family came to the country.
Yeah.
And I think our family's is pretty interesting. So,
Well, I know that I knew my great grandmother, and she was, I think, born in Philadelphia. I didn't know her husband, but her name was, to us she was Amma, her name was Emma Hochstetter. And she was Grandy's mother. Grandy was my grandmother and Mom's mother. And Barbara, I guess, has a picture of her, an oval portrait. The one we have the picture of at his 90th birthday, that was Grandy's side, and that was Solomon Gans. That was her mother's father, maybe, or something. It was Grandy's great-grandfather. Oh, God. He was born in 1804 in
Germany.
Westphalia.
Mm-hmm.
Came to this country in 1834, and this picture we have of all the family around a table in an apartment in New York is celebrating his 90th birthday. So that was in 1894, and we don't really know when he died, but I think on that family tree, it might have been just a few years later.
In the 1830s, where the Jews, it became advantageous to try and look for opportunities in other countries, and that's why a lot of them from this area came to the U.S., and that became our crowd.
Okay.
They've been quite a force in New York since then.
Well, the reason our crowd was written about all the people that Mom and Dad knew so well was because Stephen Birmingham, who was the author of our crowd, went to George Hellman, who was my grandfather Hellman's brother, and I guess he was a writer too. But Stephen Birmingham, for some reason, went to Uncle George to get information. So all the information was about all the German Jews that he knew about, and it was all the Lehmans and the Loebs and lots of other people there to read about it on crowd.
So they came from Germany, and a large part of the family has always been like a New York family, right?
I think so, because the ones in Philadelphia and New Orleans ended up in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what sort of things has the family been involved in New York? What institutions? What?
Well, I guess it was a lot of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think there might have been some I think there also might have been some haberdashery, is that what you call menswear, and coats and things like that. That might have been the Stein side, but because I know on the Stein side that we have something about Solomon Stein, the whole thing about him and what he did in New York, and he was in the woolen, I don't know, it was woolens or woolen coats or something like that. Yeah.
Somewhere in the textile business, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. But there was a big Wall Street part.
Oh yeah,
always.
the German Jews had a lot of firms on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember Pops, your father, never had trouble getting me a summer job.
Yeah, right.
He'd like
Right.
call one of his friends and